Well, good afternoon. This is Lisa Derby Oden. I'm the Project Development Coordinator for MassMEP, and I am here this afternoon with one of my favorite people, Darcy Cook from Cook Professional Resources, DBA Safety Trainers. So maybe, Darcy, you want to do a little introduction of yourself, and then I'll get to today's question.
Great. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me today. So I am a mom first, a wife second, and then I happen to own this company called Safety Trainers. And it seems like safety and COVID-19 seems to be a hot topic these days. We've been around New England since 1998. We're over 20 years now, and we've been servicing, small to super large companies when it comes to helping them with safety and health training, documentation, mitigation, which I hope that's never you, but we're really kind of like a trusted partner. Many companies in Massachusetts don't have a designated safety person. So we're kind of the extension of your team when it comes to health and safety.
That's great, Darcy. I think it's great for people to get to know a little bit more about you. And I know that we've worked together with you for a while now, and it's been a great relationship so far. And I know just recently we've been working with you to address the whole, reopening with the COVID-19. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here and ask you for 5 tips of things that manufacturers could implement right now, put into practice right now to help out with that.
Yeah, so this is a really stressful, complicated, confusing time for, all industries. And so let me kind of simplify this down as best as I can. If you want to sleep better at night and have a smoother process, let's start with the first one. If you haven't designated and identified who is going to be daily reading and staying updated with every change going on in your company, you are really going to struggle. You are going to be behind. You're going to put your company at risk, both from a business, financial business, staying open perspective, and the health of your employees. This is not going away. So you need to commit a person or a group of persons who can keep up to speed. In addition to that, who are your trusted partners? This is a great time to get engaged with your associations. So if you never saw or felt like your trade associations could add value, or associations related to your HR team, or even safety related associations, even if you don't have a designated safety person, this is the time to stay connected. But it's a lot of information. So please narrow it down and identify who's going to do that on a daily basis right now, because that's how fast things are changing.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent first step to recommend, because you're right, things are changing fast and regularly, and it'd be a pretty slippery slope without that. So, what's number 2 on your list?
Okay, so number 2 is signs everywhere, signs. We all have to learn new behaviors, and teaching adults to do something different than we've been doing for decades on decades on decades, there is a learning curve here. And so in order to be efficient, effective, and safe, we've got to put more signage and posters up than we've ever put before in and around our company as a reminder, in addition to, the verbal communications, the short, safety briefing meetings that you might be having. But we are creatures of habit, and we have to learn a whole new set of habits and behaviors. And so the state is actually pushing us, right, to put up all these signs, educational signs, how to hand wash, how to put your mask on and off, reminders, social distancing, not just on the wall, but make markings on the floor, signs on the floor, X's on the floor, tape marks on the floor. They're really asking us to be visual right now. And I will stress that right now, I'm a visual learner. Visuals in and around your building that don't create other hazards are going to help your team conform to the new changes quickly, understand that this is here. You know how a lot of people are like, oh, it'll go away. We only have to do it for a little bit. And by the time, they think, oh, maybe I should, it's over. Well, this isn't getting over anytime soon. So it put some practices in place with your postage and your signing and your markings and your tape to really give people an indication that, number one, it's going to make them feel safer in the workplace. You care. It sends a strong message. You care. There's safety here. We're staying on top of things. And that's a really good place to be right now in terms of, business and industry.
Yeah, I can't agree more about signs either. I mean, it's a great way to help create new habits for people, because I think of myself even going to the grocery store with the one-way aisles and things like that, and looking for those signs. Are they hanging up there, or is it on the floor? In some cases it's both, but it's certainly all very helpful for all of us who are trying to make our way through this.
Yes. So the third tip is really about communication. I feel that in this world, no matter what we're talking about, business, personal, whatever, communication, when we fail in communication, it creates problems, creates stress. So you need to have a clear plan. You need to know in writing exactly how you are going to communicate to your employees, remote employees, in-house employees, vendors, visitors, guests, customers, clients. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces. How are you telling them what the new expectations are? How are you holding them accountable? How are we giving them gentle reminders? And with the speed of information changing so quickly, when you don't have this communication in place, again, the stress, frustration, and the risk associated with that clearly comes into place. I was literally in a company yesterday or 2 days ago, went home, read some stuff. My bedtime reading is everything related to regulation these days. Read some stuff, and literally when I got to the company the next day, we already had to make changes because there was definition and re-explanation and clarity behind some of these Massachusetts regulations. And so we're going to continue to get those. So something that you did right now in your business, because you interpreted it one way, might change tomorrow because then we might have new clarity. How are you going to communicate that to everyone that needs to know?
You know what? The communication piece is huge. And I was going to say, if there's a communication void to your employees, for example, that's when miscommunication starts to kind of take hold and run rampant, and you can have a lot of fear going on that really does not need to happen. So great tip number 3, Darcy. What you got for number 4?
Before I get to 4,
okay.
On the communication model, most companies have never really had to think about this. Not all of your employees have work email.
True.
So we can't just send an email and call it communication. You guys have to do some out-of-box kind of thinking on the communication side. All right, so tip number 4. Tip number 4 is around, I want you to think about it as if it's like spring cleaning in your house. And you've got the itch, the garage, the shed, the cellar. It's time to clean it out. You need to actually be walking through your company right now, because what we're asking you to do, limit the number of people in spaces, in places. We're asking you not to touch as many things so that I don't touch it and you don't touch it. We're asking you not to share anymore. So let's think about this. Everything that we learned in kindergarten, we're now telling you can't do. No hugging, no high-fiving, no kissing, no sharing of stuff. We can't sit together. We can't play together. We have to be far apart as we possibly can. So we can't drive together, right? Save on gas, like everything that we've been told to do, we're now being told we can't do anymore. All right, so how are we going to, again, with new behaviors, we've got to purge. You got to go to the break room. You got to take everything that's open air and get rid of it. And everything has to be in a package. Anything that I'm touching, you're touching, we can't reach into the candy jar anymore. Get rid of all those extras. Look at the coffee machine. Look at your lobby. Take the chairs out. Visitors and guests, we don't want you there as much as we used to. We need to get in and out and do what you need to do. No more chairs in your office. If it's not big enough and it's not 6 feet, and it's not air conditioned, the air's not flowing enough, get the chair out. Standing conversations only, maybe from the door frame. Basically, I want you to be purging, eliminating, getting rid of the extras, downsizing. You are downsizing. You have a house, you had 4 kids, you had 7 or 8 rooms. We're going to a 1-bedroom apartment, people. Get rid of all the extras. You can only keep exactly what you need to keep in order to function as a critical operation. We got to get rid of all the extras right now.
Yeah, good reason to do that. Good reason.
Not easy to get done,
No,
but
no.
we are being asked to do it.
That's
so
correct.
Therefore, we got to make some changes.
Yeah.
And then here's my last one. We want, all of you are working really hard right now to open your business. Once you get your business open, we want to make sure that you are to the best of your capabilities. We want to make sure that we don't have a situation where we get a positive case that creates an outbreak in a department, or an outbreak, on an assembly line, a production line, or an outbreak in any part of our business. If we have an outbreak, just think about what that would do to your business right now. All the work that you've done, having to shut down, change shifts, disinfect, the additional costs associated with that. So what's the preventative model? Prevention, I have always said, costs less than being reactive to a problem. How are we going to prevent us from getting an outbreak in your building? You've got to go with the two basic things that the CDC has been telling us. You got to have people in face masks, so I'm not coughing and spitting all over the place, right? And we need to make sure we are hand washing. I have been in companies over the last 2 months. Employees are not stepping their game up. They are not hand washing, not even close to as much as we need to be hand washing. You have got to get into the habit. We've got to be teaching everyone, and we've got to be hand washing and wearing masks. Disinfecting is the third part, but hand washing and wearing masks, if I keep all my cough, breath, saliva, spit off of your stuff in the first place, and I'm washing my hands and not touching my face, then we've significantly decreased the risk. Prevention against what we're fighting, the invisible germs that you and I can't see. So the fifth one, which is probably high up on one of the most important pieces, is let's make sure it doesn't happen in your place. Get everyone hand washing. Get everyone using hand sanitizer the right way, not in replace of hand washing. Don't let hand sanitizer replace hand washing. Get people in bathrooms washing their hands with soap and water.
The prevention versus reacting to is such an important concept on that as well. And those are 5 phenomenal tips, Darcy. I want to thank you so much for thinking about those with us here today and for sharing those with us. And we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thanks for having me. Be safe and be well, everyone.